I've done the Prince of Egypt, I've done Spirit, and I've done Sinbad. But now I finally get to DreamWorks' second 2D film, the film you've all been waiting for, the long-awaited request. I give you The Road to El Dorado. What's interesting about this film is that it had very rocky development. Originally began as a dramatic adventure with a PG-13 rating, but when Prince of Egypt was in development, Katzenberg decided for it to be a goofy comedy, eventually being put on hold, even going by El Dorado, descending on hold by the crew. DreamWorks had big plans for this film, as it features both Elton John and Tim Rice from The Lion King writing the songs, and there were plans for more sequels, but when the film was released on March 2000, it ended up as a flop both critically and financially. However, in recent years, the film ended up getting a huge cult following thanks to the internet, with many iconic memes, and gets talked about constantly on YouTube. But now it's my turn to take a trip to El Dorado. That reminds me of Doritos. But anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's go. In the 1500s, two con men named Tulio and Miguel end up finding a map that they won that leads to this lost city of El Dorado. After escaping Cortez's ship along with Ocasio, Cortez's horse, they end up on an island which contains the lost city of El Dorado. Upon arriving, they are mistaken by gods, mistaken for gods by the people, and end up being worshipped. With the help of a citizen of El Dorado called Chell, the two must keep their secret in order to pull off their scheme. If I had any word to describe this film, it's charming. The Road to El Dorado is just a fun, charming, hilarious, and sometimes exciting adventure. The real strength of this film is easily our main duo, Tulio and Miguel. They are such a delight to watch because they have such wonderful chemistry together. They both give the film so much life and energy thanks to performances by Kevin Kline and Kenneth Branagh. There are plenty of great deliveries and some tender moments. It also helps that the two voice together in the same room, which helps their dynamic. The rest of the film itself is also a lot of fun as well. While I do wish that there were a lot more adventure aspect in this film, the point of this film isn't just to be an adventure flick, it's to be a comedy, where the characters in comedy are high priority, and the film succeeds on that aspect. There are so many witty lines and even some adult humor that really caught me off guard. Outside of Tulia and Miguel, we got Chell, the female sidekick, who is a lot more interesting than I thought she would be, as the only one who knows about the duo's scheme, showing she's just as crooked as our duo is. It's great that she's not some token girl love interest, as she has a personality on her own. There's the chief of El Dorado, who I really love as a character because he's this big-hearted and kind man who clearly cares about his citizens and to make the gods feel welcome. But what I find interesting about him is that he secretly knows that Tully and Miguel aren't gods, but doesn't mind that since they did leave a positive impact on the city. Speaking of which, I'm glad that the film doesn't pull the lie reveal like so many other kids' films where the main character lies, then it's revealed that they're phonies, and this leads to a big fallout, and then later they save the day by being themselves. This film, on the other hand, doesn't pull that bullcrap trope at all, which is fairly refreshing. More movies should do that. Talking you, Pixar. There's Octavio, Cortez's ex-horse, that joins the duo on their adventure. As an animal sidekick, it's quite impressive that he has no words, yet he still has plenty of personality. I love characters that do that. And then we have the film's villain, Cecil Khan, the high priest of this city. While on the surface he may seem like the typical power-hungry advisor you see in every other anime film, but what makes him stand out, he's not after power, but actually his own beliefs and on sacrifices, which makes him a quite unique villain. Plus, the human idea of sacrifices in a family film is quite dark stuff. Speaking of which, even though this film is not as heavy or dark as Prince of Egypt, it still manages to earn that PG rating with some surprisingly dirty jokes and even some uses of blood. Yes, actual blood in a family film. And characters will actually swear at times. Visually, this is a very pretty movie. El Dorado is very gorgeous with its lush color palettes and detailed Mesoamerican architecture. The animation itself is also well done. There are some real well shot scenes that scream breathtaking. The film combines both 2D and CGI animation very well. Characters are very well drawn with both a realistic but stylized look to them. The animation itself is quite fluid, although I will admit the animation could have been a lot more zanier and cartoonier, as sometimes the animation feels a bit held back at times due to the realistic look. It's like the animators were afraid of making the animation look unpretty if it looked cartoony. However, this is a comedy, not a drama like The Prince of Egypt, and so it will be fine if the animation is a bit goofy. I mean, look at Rayman Origins and Legends, proof that you can have both pretty visuals while still being cartoony at the same time. It's not that hard, DreamWorks. And of course, I can't talk about this film without mentioning The Songs by Elton John and Tim Rice of Lion King fame. And I have to say that the songs in this are pretty good. Not extraordinary, but still toe tappers nonetheless, with the exception of the only musical number in this film, It's Tough to Be a God. A really awesome number with amazing visuals, and of course, the score by Hans Zimmer, and especially John Powell, is really good, capturing that Spanish feeling. So yeah, The Road to El Dorado is a great movie. It's funny, has likable characters, beautiful visuals, and has a great soundtrack. While I did want a little bit more out of this film, like more zanier animation and a bit more adventure, what I got is still a solid experience. 8 out of 10. Come see this film for yourself. Now, if you excuse me, it's time to party at El Dorado. It's tough to be a god, but when you are the people's night.